What are 10 things an aspiring writer should know about writing?
10 things.
Yes, number one, get a good cup of coffee. Sorry.
Yeah. Like, can we count that as one? um, so 10 things that any writer should know about writing.
Correct.
I think definitely staying caffeinated certainly helps. I think experience is sort of an obvious one. I think in film school, I found that a lot of people were making movies about things that they knew nothing about. And that sort of bothered me. I was always, at least in as an undergrad, I didn't really have much life experience. And so I was making movies, for better or worse, sometimes without as much substance, but it was still my experience. So I think experience is a big one. I think discipline and routine. Being honest with yourself, so honesty is a big one.
Oh, why? Sorry to interrupt, but why that one? That's really good.
I think honesty is really important to writing because I didn't really even start to realize that I was becoming somewhat of a decent writer until I was really honest with myself. Not just, honesty in the sense of, digging deep into your heart and telling your story or anything like that, but more so being honest about your work, trying to be objective, looking at it, and sort of knowing deep down, or at least telling yourself deep down what you really think of your work, your writing, or your creation. I sort of found myself, I don't want to say lying to myself, but I would write something and I'd be like, this is the best I can do. It's good enough. And as more and more time went on, I started to sort of say to myself, no, I can actually do better. And I think that comes with experience. And I think that's part of just being honest with yourself, admitting that you can do better.
Awesome. I think, okay, so 4, so caffeinated.
Oh, is that 4? I thought that was 5.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I must have missed one in there. Okay.
Man, this is a good question. Sorry, I'm not just like rolling out with the answers. Can I say travel? I think travel is important. Meeting all sorts of different types of people. That certainly inspires the characters that I write. I guess routine and discipline was one that I already said, but I think it's equally as important to be open to breaking that routine, to having this sort of spontaneous fire inside of you that makes you want to do something you've never done before. I spent a lot of my college years and post-grad years, focusing on comedy. And only now at 32 am I actually diving into horror. And I find that I'm actually really enjoying it. And it's not something that I ever imagined wanting to do. But I think being open to changing, your trajectory of things is a good thing. So spontaneity. And what is that, 8?
I believe so. 7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on the last 2. I think having a good word processing program certainly helps. I think maybe that just contributes to the structure of things, but I feel a little bit more inspired if I have just the proper equipment to write. That is a laptop. Personally, I don't do like pen and paper or anything like that, and Final Draft or Celtx or something like that. That's a way more technical answer. And I think the last thing is arguably the most important, which would just be the passion, the desire to do it. I think you're going to have a lot of trouble if you are not enjoying some part of it. I think it's normal to enter into periods where you are like, I hate this, I want to move on to the next thing already. I think accepting that, but still reminding yourself of why you started this to begin with is super important. And if you have that, then you can fall back on it. And I think you will be able to finish just about everything that you start.
Excellent. Going back to number 8 about having the proper writing implements or whatever, have you ever tried to do a script or write a script just using Pages or Word and not using a software program?
I have I think the last time I guess I should say when I was maybe when I was like 10 or 11, I would actually write books, and I would start by grabbing a whole stack of paper and folding them and then stapling it. And then I would draw pictures, and I would actually write my story in those books. So I basically at the end at age 11 had a self-published single copy of my book. And then since then, I've probably used Word a couple times, and I've scribbled ideas in notebooks, and I even on my phone right now I have a notepad of ideas that I can scroll for days. But when I actually sit down to write a screenplay now, it's mainly just final draft.
Excellent. Okay, great. By the way, do you have those books still that you did?
I gotta ask my parents. I think we left those in our basement in Massachusetts,
Okay.
and I'll ask if they cleaned it out or if they kept them.
Oh, I hope they kept them. Yeah.